Hey, what's going on guys? Migzuba here. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a Jeskai control deck for standard best of one. So this deck is centered around using Transmogrify and Lukka Coppercoat Outcast in order to cheat out Dream Trawler a turn or two ahead of schedule. So we start out with Glass Casket. This is just a cheap removal spell that we use to stay alive that we can blink with Yorion later in the game. Birth is really solid, helps us hit our land drops, which is pretty important, especially in a control deck, and it creates a wall that we can use to Transmogrify or Lukka minus into a Dream Trawler, so really great. Omen helps us hit our combo pieces, helps us hit our board wipes if we need them, removal to stay alive. If we're digging for Transmogrify, Omen can help us get there, find our land drops, really great card. Yorion can blink it for extra value, so pretty solid. Fire Prophecy. I really like Fire Prophecy. Basically, cheap removal spell, even better than Glass Casket, I think, in this deck, simply because it lets us throw Dream Trawlers in the early game back to the bottom of our library, and it doesn't matter that they're there because both of these cards will help us find the Trawlers regardless of where they are in the deck. Maze My Tome, draw some cards, gain some life, scribe to your goodies, great in pretty much every control deck. Cinderclasm as a kind of ghetto 3-mana board wipe, right? Like, it's not as good as Deafening Clarion was, but it kind of resembles Flame Sweep, and I like the ability to have it on 2 or on 3. Like, I've had games where I take out a Rimrock Knight and a Fervent Champion, so I'm just testing this. If you guys don't like it, you can always run the 4th Fire Prophecy in its place. Omens create 1/1s that we can Transmogrify or Lukka minus to get our Trawler, gain some life, create some blockers. Valakut, you can put the Dream Trawlers back to the bottom of your deck if they're clogging your hand, same kind of logic as Fire Prophecy. And if you have Dream Trawlers out and you have a large hand, which, I mean, you're probably winning at that point anyways, but you can put your whole hand away, draw a million, and then gain a lot of attack with Dream Trawler. So that's pretty solid. Elspeth, good against rogues. It's an escape card, although 6 mana for this planeswalker is pretty expensive. The minus is great because it lets us Lukka the turn later, gain some life against aggro, create blockers, pretty solid planeswalker. For Shatter, I started out with less Shatters in the deck, but it's day 1 of the season, and I've only been playing against aggro, so we put the 4 in. The logic for playing less is that we create a lot of tokens and we want to have a board presence, especially with the Dream Trawlers, but I found that like sweeping the opponent's board and then putting a Dream Trawler after that is a lot more effective. So 4 Shatters, pretty happy with that. And then the Transmogrify, kind of like the combo piece. The 4-2 split because a turn 4 Dream Trawler is a lot better than a turn 5 Dream Trawler, and the only benefit Lukka really has on top of the Transmogrify is that you can use it twice, and that it's a planeswalker that you can revive with ECD. So we'll get to ECD. Good removal, nice for taxing your opponent, and we run 4 planeswalkers and 4 Dream Trawlers, all pretty powerful cards we don't mind rehashing with the ECD. Also blinkable with Yorion, so that's pretty good. Obviously the Trawlers, just the main thing the deck's built around, and the Shark Typhoons. The Shark Typhoons are good, especially on 3, so we can even like put them here at some games. Basically, creating a 1/1 Shark and then going for turn 4 Transmogrify into a Dream Trawler is really solid, and if not later in the game, it's another way to get there against control decks. We'll get into the mana base. Ardent Veil, it's another way to generate 1/1 humans, or just 1/1 tokens, and you can use those for your Transmogrify or Lukka. If you really want more, you can put another of this castle. You can cut the Vantress. I like both. I like having the option depending on what situation I'm in. And we do have a fair few mountain plains, especially with the Triomes, so we're not super punished for running all this. We also do have a fair split towards red, even though it looks like we're more of a Azorius deck, especially with the mana base. Or like, if you look here, we only have 2 mountains, but we have 2 mountains, 1 smashing, and 2 Valakut Awakenings. So it kind of gives off, like, that's basically 5 basic red sources and only 4 basic blue sources. Anyways, I think I'm just getting a little bit too in-depth on the mana base. Pathways, Triome, Fabled Passage, basically all your dual lands. 2-2 split between the temples. Obviously, you want the white one. We're at base a white deck, but I think I like the 2 Triumph, 2 Enlightenment, and honestly you can even go for 4 Triumph, because we do have a lot of early game red that we really need, especially with like Fire Prophecy and a Cinderclasm. Amiria's Call, it can win you the game in the late game, make 2 Angels, and if not, you can just use them as tokens for Lukka minus or Transmogrify, which, I mean, it's kind of pathetic, but hey, it's an option. And the Smashing just is a removal spell that, you know, it has a low cost of being a potential tap land or bolt land, but I like having the DFCs in the deck. It gives a lot more flexibility. And now Yorion. Okay, so Yorion isn't the focus of the deck, but it's kind of a late game play, and we do have a bunch of blinkables like the Omens, Birth, Glass Caskets, the Planeswalkers to reset their loyalty, ECD. So it's a fun little free addition. The only slight cost is adding 20 extra cards to the deck, which is not very steep, as you guys know. So yeah, guys, that's the list. If you're enjoying the content and you like the deck, be sure to drop a like and consider subscribing. It really helps me out. And yeah, guys, the deck list will be in the description down below. Let's get into some games. All right, really slow hand, but against Yorion. Oh, nothing until turn 4 and no tokens. I think that's a mulligan. Alright, this is, I guess, better. We'll drop off one of the Fire Prophecies. Alright, so mono black maybe? I wonder if we're going to need this. I doubt it, so we'll get this out of the way. Just enters tapped. Yep, that's a swamp. So mono black Yorion, really interesting. They have plenty of ways to exile a Dream Trawler. What you got? You have the Tomon too? And they do. Lucky them. I want my Tomon too. Oh, we get it. Easy tome draw. Okay. So now we're really in this game. I think we're both going to have a lot of clunky draws because both of our decks are built to take on aggro, but it's going to be difficult to beat them. They are an Ugin deck. I think the best way for us to do that is by cycling Sharks or just getting out Dream Trawlers and maybe hoping they don't have exile removal. All right, Nightmare. Okay. Nightmare with no targets. Second Tome. I definitely want to get that on the field. I think they'll take it with their Nightmare. And we'll get a white source going. They're about to see the white anyways, so we might as well try to get as much card advantage as we can in this match. Yep. Probably gonna take ECD. Maybe Omen. They're looking at the Omen. And worst case, we throw Fire Prophecy onto like a Simulacrum and use it to cycle. It's not the end of the world. Yep, there goes ECD, as expected. Yeah, we're in for a slogfest, guys. We both have Yorions, we both have plenty of card draw. Okay. Yep, opponent needs to hit land. And they do it. Good for them. But that's another thing that's going to be important. All of the land. Alright. That's fine. We can put this on red in case we find Lukka. And pass. Just staring each other in the face. To be fair, my hand has not been very explosive either. Like, it's not like I could have gone for the turn 4 or 5 Dream Trawler. Oh, okay, so Dimir, or the blue is just for the Yorion. Remorse. So I guess they want to take my Omen. I think we get that on the board. Because it is a blinkable. And more land. Is more land fine? Probably take untapped land, but not tapped land. Sure. They're going to take another one of my ECDs, which is my best Planeswalker hate. Like we're gonna miss those in the late game. Alright, an opponent buys Yorion. So we can draw. Omen is fine. It's all stuff that Ugin exiles anyways. So, you know. Okay, we'll just play the passage and pass. No need to play out the planes because the opponent doesn't know we have it, and they knew about both the passage and the fire prophecy, so. Alright, what you got? More pathways, basically just help them cast Yorion. Okay, draw some cards. I'm also worried about a Crawling Barrens. I didn't think my deck's mana base could handle it, so I don't have one of my own. Alright, let's grab a bit more blue mana. Actually, well, we have our white here. Let's get double blue. And we'll draw some cards. There's a shark. Good draw. If this game goes long enough, I can just build up to a massive shark and clip them. I could have also played the Omen there, but I think we're okay. Just holding our cards. Alright, so. Elspeth? I think Elspeth is fine. It forces them to do something. And it creates a board presence. Also, in longer games, escaping this multiple times can be important. Soul Shatter. That's fine. So at least it's in the yard and not exiled. And we still have some 1/1s. So, hey. Not a bad transaction. Opponent on 6 mana. They can be on 7 right here. Not slamming the Shark Typhoon because Ugin just exiles it. And yeah, Barrens is really bad. Like, really bad. Although we can chump block it for essentially forever, or what can feel like forever. Okay. Draw Yorion. Yep. No surprise there, get a mid-game burst of value. Reset their 1 tome, and draw another card off the Golden Egg. I'll just draw here. More land is fine. We're going to need to hit every land drop to stay in this game. Okay, so we can double Fire Prophecy this Yorion. I don't think that's exactly where we want to be. I can buy my own. So what's my turn look like? I can make a 5/5 Shark that probably just dies to removal. I can play... I can buy Yorion, still hold up a bunch of mana to draw some cards. So maybe we do that, but I think I kind of want to play out my hand a little bit more before we buy the Yorion. We can get more value out of it the longer we wait, so I think we just pass here. Like, if I set both my tomes to 3 and get the other Omen down, then slam Yorion, like, that's going to feel really good. And we can do it all in 1 turn, starting next turn, because we're going to have 8 mana available. Alright, what you got? Nightmare. Irritating. Not ideal, plus this exiles the graveyard. And gets into my hand. Alright, let's make a 5/5. See what the opponent wants to do about it. They probably just have removal. Kind of regret cutting all of my control stuff. Or not all of it, but like toning down the amount of control stuff I had. Okay, so opponent lets that go. They also, okay, they still have 1 black. But yeah, I made the deck a lot more aggro friendly. Alright, that's 1 extinction event down. They still haven't seen any Dream Trawlers. Ooh, okay, good draw. we can take out their nightmare and tax them, and also start this ticking to eventually get our Elspeth back. All right, triple blue, double red. I think we can go for another. Well, I don't think it really matters. We'll go for another red. And Biorian or hold up Tome Draw or Omen. We can't do Omen, we don't have enough white. That's what we're missing. We need white mana. I think I just like drawing a card here. It's a little less mana efficient, but they do run a lot of hand hate. Like we've seen them main deck Agonizing Remorse. So if we buy the Yorian, they can just Agonizing Remorse it. And we really do want the burst of value it provides. All right, there's a Radiant Fountain. Is it time to start slapping me up with the Barons? Ugin, okay. Very good. Fire Prophecy does not tag Ugin. If this was Scorching Dragonfire, we'd have something. Okay, so I can sacrifice this to Scry. I don't think that particularly matters. And if this was a white source, we could go for Omen, and that would feel really good. But it's not. And we used both our white on the ECD, so... Scry here or not? Hitting land is important. I think we scry. Transmogrify, okay. We already have a Lukka, and there's plenty more Transmogrifies in the deck. Interesting. White source, but not exactly what I was expecting. So yeah, well the opponent's tapped to 1. I think we just used an Ugin and an Extinction Event, and only has 3 cards in hand. I think we try for the Lukka Omen. Right, like if they target something with a Heartless Act, oh, I had enough mana to do without bolting in. Sorry, my mistake. Lose 3 life, and I don't think it's gonna matter all that much. And this will find a Trawler. Nice. Okay, plenty of stuff to discard to it if they have targeted removal, like these Fire Prophecies and Cinderclasms aren't doing anything. Another Ugin would suck. Extinction Event would be expected. Ugin plus, that's actually fine. If this is in the yard, we can get it back with ECD. Although, only have 1 of those left. Okay, goes for the draw. Nice. Very good. Do you find Ugin? No, they're touching the Dream Trawler. If they can tap it down for 2 turns, they're good. No scry with the tomes. Alright, let's try to get into combat. And that lands, or the attack goes through. Alright, let's not attack with this. They have a Barons. But actually... Okay, second Dream Trawler off the top. Alright. That attack could have been fine, because if they block with the Barons, I guess it is whatever. Alright, white. And we buy Yorian. I want to hold up a blue mana, just bluff counter magic. So we go for this. I guess we can reset the Trawler, both my tomes, and the Omen. Trawler matters on very niche cases, right? Like if they attack with the Barons for whatever reason, we can block it and get lifelink. Okay, so our tomes are reset. Yeah, and they pump the Barons, which I can kill up until 8 power. So if they're spending their turn attacking with the Barons and just pumping it to the sky, I think we're pretty happy. Second Barons, annoying, but okay. Ugin. Yes. Very good. Alright, they go for -6 on the Ugin. And yeah, that's all it is. Feels bad. Second Ugin. I wonder if that came off the top or not. And draw with the tome. We'll draw with our tome. Shark Typhoon, good draw. Shatter, bad draw. Alright, let's start off with drawing here. See if we can hit land. That's not land. I guess we do it again. Land. Not land again. Okay. And Dream Trawler. Can you kill a third Trawler? I think. First clean event. Okay. So they have 8 main deck ways to deal with Dream Trawler. Feels bad. We miss land there. By the way, we do this main phase also because we're planning on casting them anyways. I guess we could have held up the Fire Prophecies for this Barons. Alright, we really need to land off the top. Also, these are looking really bad in this match. Alright, well at least we hit land. And maybe I do Slam Shark. They need third Ugin to get rid of it. And they have 55 cards in their library. This could be a play. It really could. Unorthodox, but there's already a Ugin on the board. They already played one. And I think this could get me to the finish line if they have no way to remove it for at least a couple turns. And they're drawing. Okay. It's going to take 2 turns of plussing Ugin and then a turn of minusing Ugin to be able to take out this Typhoon. And that time we're going to have plenty of sharks to fight them with. Also, the more sharks we can create, the more we can block the Barons. Alright. Pump up the Barons. So can we kill this thing? That's my question. We have 5 mana to work with. That's 1 Prophecy and 1 Omen. Or... So go to blockers. Go to attackers. Okay, so if I double Prophecy, then it goes to 6. Like they can pump it again. So if they pump it again, it's a 10-10. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So yeah, they need 1 removal spell to blow that out. So I think we just play out this Omen. And we will go for this. Make another shark. Cycle a card. I'm going to cycle the Cinderclasm. It's worse than the Prophecies. I mean, I could also cycle the shark. The Shadow of the Sky, in all fairness. Alright, go to blockers. And we will actually... I can just chump this. Yeah, let's not worry about it. We can make blockers forever at this point. Let's just chump it. And we just try to kill the opponent, I guess. They can gain a lot of life, though. Okay.
I will destroy if I must.
Weird game. Hard game. I actually do think the opponent has the advantage. All they have to do is save our their removal for my trawlers, and it's really hard for us to win. Alright, what you gonna do? Bloodsea's Thirst? That's fine. My turn. Okay. Start off with Temple. I'm good. We'll find more land. We will try to attack Ugin. They can animate their barons. Okay, they choose not to. So I can go for this Elspeth. I think that's actually the play. Instead of the Dream Trawler. They can minus their Ugin to exile it, but if they're doing that, they're losing out on their Ugin, and that's okay with me. It also makes a 4/4 shark, and we get to hold up card draw and prophecies. Make some more 1/1s, block the massive barons. Alright, how many extinction events have we seen? 1, 2, anything in exile? No. Okay, so 2 events. Instant speed removal on the shark. Cling, okay. Just trying to get through their deck. 8 cards in grave. They can flashback Cling 1 time. So they can, the way they go furthest into their deck is scry with Tome, draw with Cling. That's the way to see the most cards. Which, if they're really just digging for Ugin, which, I mean, to be fair, I might be also if I was them, that's what you gotta do. And if they're doing that, they might be bottoming other extinction events, meaning our Dream Trawlers might actually get there. Okay, yeah, we also emptied our yard, so that's pretty funny. And they could have exiled our Elspeth, which, interesting. Interesting that they didn't. That would have also drawn them a card. Ugin can take out the Elspeth. That's fine. Can they flash the Cling back? No, they can't. Long game, guys. Egg? Sure. Egg is A-okay. $49 cards in deck, only 2 Ugins to go. I'm really concerned about killing them. We have to do that pretty quickly. The more time they're alive, the closer they can get to their 3rd Ugin, and the closer they can get to wiping my entire board, and the main thing keeping me in this game. But I knew that when I slammed it, right? Okay, so they do sack their Ugin. If they have another Ugin, that's gonna look really bad. And my board looks awfully small. Alright. Careful taps. 5, 6. I don't like it. And they find their other Ugin. Feels bad, guys. Feels real bad. Ooh, and they choose to go face with it? Interesting. They don't minus for the Shark Typhoon. And they're gonna get punished. That's a bunch of 1/1s. Yeah. That's a bunch of cards. We can now attack the Ugin. Eliminate? Sure. Okay, so that brings the Ugin back to 7. Birth. Okay. Weird game. Okay. So we attack it. Ugin will go down to 7. I don't think we really need this wall anymore. I think I can just cast the birth, get the planes, thin the deck out a little bit. And, okay, let's go for a draw off one of the tomes. See if we can find an ECD. No, but we do find a second Typhoon. Interesting. That's actually really interesting. Okay, let's try again. Last ECD, no such luck. Okay. That's fine. I could have used the Shadow to draw a card, but I think I do prefer holding up my potential burn spells. Even though there's no shark to pair them with, it does force the opponent to minus the Ugin, which I mean they're probably going to do anyways. Really weird game. Alright, so that's the third Ugin. That means that if I slam this, this is going to be my last shark. We do run only 3 sharks, and we've seen them all so far. Tome's really keeping this game going, by the way. Lots of cards have been drawn off the tomes. And in best of 3, we'd have such an advantage. Like, I could just side out all this bad removal and side in so many counterspells. Just have a crazy advantage. Okay, another extinction event. So, okay, let me check. Is that the third one of theirs? That's 1, 2, 3. That's the third event. They're gonna have to be careful. I think we still have 2 or 3 Dream Trawlers. We still have 2. Okay. Here comes the Barons. Maybe. If they don't Ugin minus 6, then we can take out the Barons if they pump all their mana into it and attack. Alright. There's the Barons. 10-10. So we're dead to another hit from this thing. Or 2 hits from this thing. And they're gonna go to attackers. Alright. I don't agree with this, but hey, at least holding up the Fire Prophecies paid off. Okay, we'll throw away the Shatter. We don't really need it. Okay, another Dream Trawler. Do I want to cycle anything? I think we just cycle the land at this point. More land. And we'll go to blockers. Hope they don't have 2 mana removal. To damage. And that's a huge Baron's down. Okay. Now the Ugin minus 6 can come in, but they might just plus again. They do just plus again. Okay. Very interesting. Are they trying to ultimate me? Cycle land. More land. Castle. That's a good one. Alright, so Shark comes in as a 12-12. Okay, what do I have left in the library? Hard game. Transmogrify. What do I have? Instant speed. Valakut Awakening do really good. Omen, other Omen, more Tome. Alright, let's take a draw step. I mean, this castle's good and all, but they also do have the Field of Ruin, if they remember that. Another Tome, also good. Makes sharks. I'll try to draw again. Other birth. And we'll take our last draw step. I don't want to cycle this just yet. I'm just trying to find a way to remove the Ugin. And we find it. It pays off all right. All right. Final ECD taking third Ugin. They never minused on the Shark Typhoon. They're trying to play super greedy and just deal with the sharks as they came along. So they have one event and one more Ugin. And we have 2 Trawlers and another Shark Typhoon. So not feeling too bad about the spot we're in. Solemn Simulacrum. Nothing in the yard to get back with the ECD, but that's okay. Opponent can blow up my castle. I guess it is what it is. Egg. These eggs look a lot worse when they're not being blinked by Yorion. So it's just like a 2-mana cantrip. No big deal. Cycle a Cling to draw. Yep. Okay. Gain some life, tax the opponent, go to combat right away. Nice little attack. Okay, good. Planes left in deck. I actually think I do still have some. So let's go for this birth. We should have 2 left. Opponent's thinking, that's just fine. Okay. We'll tap this for mana. Resolve. And so field. This is the Field of Ruin search, so we grab the mountain. And we use the birth to grab our planes. And this is... We only have 1 more planes in the deck, so we have to be careful with this passage. But I think we go for our first Trawler, or sorry, 3rd Trawler here. And they go. So if the opponent has Ugin, they should really go for it. Or if they have their last Extinction event, like this is a juicy board to Extinction event. I'm just banking on them not having both. Which, I mean, if they do, they really just did have the nuts. Another fun play I can do is on the opponent's end phase, I can discard this Dream Trawler to make this hexproof, and then get it for free with the ECD. Does the Barons want to attack? Barons does want to attack, and so does the Simulacrum. Okay. So I don't want to give the opponent more cards. I'll just take the 2 damage. And we can throw this wall away. We have plenty of tokens. How big's this shark? Shark is a 7/7 right now. Sorry, a 6/6. My mistake. An opponent at 28. Still has 10 mana available. Alright. So what do we go for? I think I hold this Typhoon. Draw. Nice castle. Cycle. Other tome. Nice. And actually, we'll do this on upkeep. Hold on, so we put a stop on upkeep. Ooh, no, we don't want to do that, because then it would tap our Dream Trawler for the turn. My bad, guys. Alright, so we're going to make Dream Trawler hexproof. Yep. worst draw on the deck, by the way. Alright, so Cling. Oh, you'll love to see it. Okay. I mean, we knew they had that, right? But it takes up a lot of their mana, and they're not drawing more cards. They're just gaining some life. Alright, get in there. Another Transmogrify, useless. How much are they going down to? This is 10-14, and the Shark will be another 14. So if they go down 14, it puts them at 17. Shark isn't lethal. So I guess we draw off the Maze Mind Tome. Fine. Okay. Should have probably played out this tome and drawn off of it for one more point of damage. But I don't think it's really going to come down to that. Alright, let's thin the deck of the last planes. Long game, guys. A real long game. Alright, we'll just tap double red. This tome. And I guess we can draw now. I don't see the harm. We have so much mana. More Transmogrifies. Okay. Pass the turn. So I could have Transmogrified my wall for nothing and just made a 4/4. I don't think that's it. I think we just use them as discard fodder for the Dream Trawler. And yeah, opponent's gaining life off the golden eggs, meaning the Shark Typhoon won't be lethal anyways, or on this board state at least. Okay, opponent back up to a healthy 25. Excuse me. Lock Thwain. I mean, good news is for them, they have the mana to use it. Bad news is their hand is, well, on 4, so... Lithiform Blight. Sure. I don't think we're going to be very taxed by the 1 life clause of Lithiform Blight. Remorse. Okay, well, I guess we make it 8/8. Feels bad, guys. And I mean, yeah, after that, you could really just take what you want. Go for it. Transmogrifies and Shatter the Sky. All pretty much useless. Probably take a Transmogrify because it represents a 4/4. Alright, Extinction Event is pretty much GG's at that point, at this point. Right? Like, I don't really think we can come back from that. Like, Yorion's done. All our Trawlers are done. This is our last, that was our last Shark. I mean, it's still on the board, so maybe we're not done, and maybe we just play out a Shark beatdown game. But yeah. Does the opponent have it is the question. 8 cards engraved, they can draw off the Cling. If I play the castle, they can blow it up. Not running 1 Barons is kind of biting me in the ass this game. Alright. Flashback Cling. Or sorry, Escape Cling. It just reminds me of Flashback. Alright, opponent's yard is literally just 3 Cling to Dusts, and I have no way of touching them. So, alright. Fun. You draw with the castle after you just spent your whole turn gaining so much life off your eggs. Okay, Bloodchief's Thirst, the 8/8. That's actually a really good sign. It means they don't have a sweeper like Ugin or Extinction Event. Yep. Pumping the Barons is also fine. Again, I'll just take this chump block, even though I can technically turn it into a 4/4. I don't see the opponent really killing me anytime soon. Alright, and they're still on 8 mana. So... Or are they 1, 2... I think they're on 4. I think the assistance is glitching out. Alright, my turn. Dead draw, by the way. We'll play out the castle. Heartless Act. Frustrating. Alright, we'll drop off... I guess a Transmogrify. It requires a target. And we'll get in there with the Armada of Sharks. Nice. Play out Birth just for a 2/2. And it'll also give us another 0/4. And I guess we just draw some cards. Cinderclasm. The one that we put to the bottom before. Maybe I should have saved that last one. But, yeah. Keep going. 11 mana. We can scry with the Omen, and we can scry with the castle. Well, opponent finds another tome. Okay, castle. Tome. Alright, did they get it? Did they find Ugin? Did they find Extinction Event? Ugin is just so much worse. Especially with no more sharks in the deck. Because at this point, a top deck Shark Typhoon, if I had one, is just lethal with all the mana I have. Ooh, pump the Barons. Good, very good. Oh, I can also just play this out for a blocker. Alright, yep, take that damage. That's fine. Down to 23. Blow up my castle. Alright. Scry. Shatter, Triome, no. I mean, Triome might have actually been a keep. I guess it doesn't even matter. We're not shuffling the deck anyways. Decline. And it shuffles it anyways. Okay, nice. Okay, so I can no, we're not going to kick this. I'm going to cast this for 1 damage to all to get a 1/1 shark. Very good. And then we are going to scry. Casket. Sort of whatever. This is a 4/4. This is going to become a land again. My turn. Valakut. Okay, so the question is, can they tap my Dream Trawler? I don't think they can. Let's go for it. Is that it? Is that just game? Is the opponent really going to salt rope me out of this? They cling. Good game. Yeah, no, this is what I meant in the intro by the crazy attack boost Valakut Awakening gets. Oh, gets the Dream Trawler. Yeah, that doesn't really matter. Ooh, it's so sweet. Okay. Hold on, how much mana do I have? 13. Alright, the opponent's tapped out. Is this BM? I really don't care. It's been such a good game. Sure. No, I don't want any of that. Give it all to me. Give me the biggest dream trawler you can get. Nope. The opponent wants no more. Alright, guys. Well, that was a game, alright. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Whew. Long one. Alright guys, and we are back. So I normally like to keep my videos between 30 and 40 minutes-ish and throw like 3-4 games in there, but that was a really long game. Just best of one, control versus control, and that's not where this deck performs optimally, but as you guys can see, you can pull it out. Shark Typhoons and Dream Trawlers eventually will get there, but if this was best of 3, we would be heavily favored. The fact that we tuned our deck for best of 1 sort of puts us at parity, if not maybe slightly disadvantaged because of the Ugins and the Extinction events. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Take my word for it, this deck functions in a pretty typical way against aggro. Control the board, try not to die for a little bit, and then take over. Just your late game engine comes a lot sooner, and it's a little bit more combo-y. So yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed. Deck list will be in the description down below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.